Struggling to pick an Australian homeschool curriculum? Well, avoiding a mistake here could save you hundreds of dollars, plus a whole lot of stress. Don't worry, I've rounded up the top homeschool curriculums that Aussie parents love. I'll break these down for you, the costs, who's it's best for, and I'll throw in some cheeky humour just to keep us all awake. Now, quick disclaimer, we're talking about unaccredited homeschool curriculums here, which means you will have to register to homeschool in your state. Don't stress out though, because registration actually sounds a lot harder than it is. I know, because I thought it was pretty hard and then I did it and I was like, what was all the fuss about? And another really necessary thing to know is if you're going to use a distance education curriculum, it's technically not homeschooling, it's online school. Got it? Good. Now let's dive in. First up, we have My Homeschool. This is an Australian Christian curriculum that's Charlotte Mason inspired, meaning lots of living books and gentle learning. Sounds relaxing? Well, kind of. On the plus side, they help with your homeschool registration for free. But some parents say it's a bit rigid since it follows the state syllabus so closely. So if you were hoping for a wild and free homeschool adventure, this might feel like more of a school at home setup. Now, this program is going to be great for your parents who love the Charlotte Mason method and also who want to make homeschooling a breeze. The price for their packages are $330 to $560 per year for primary grades or $440 for high school. And yes, you will need a printer, and preferably one that does not require a second mortgage for the ink. But hey, at least you're not stuck printing out 100 worksheets from Pinterest that your child refuses to do. Silver linings, right? But what if you're looking for something more traditional? Australian Christian Homeschooling, or ACHS, might be your jam. It uses ACE curriculum, yes, the same one from the 90s. It's all about self-paced learning, mastery-based work, and a strong Christian foundation. But here's the catch, it is pricey. There's a $250 startup fee, and you're looking at roughly $750 per child plus $50 per diagnostic test. Now, this one is going to be best for parents who want an easy, no prep, independent learning system that instills solid Christian values. The price for this one is going to be $750 per child per year plus extras. Of course, this isn't going to be as expensive as your local private Christian school, but it is going to be more than the public school. But hey, if you've got multiple children, the price does go down per child, so that is something. But maybe you're like, I really do want something that's a little bit more interesting than a bunch of workbooks. You know, something that's interactive and hands-on. Enter Kingdom Thinkers Academy. Now, this one is online, interactive, and it emphasizes project-based learning. Plus, the founder's name is Kale, which immediately makes me feel healthier. And includes music and PE. These often aren't included in homeschool curriculums. So no, you don't have to invent your own homeschool Olympics in the backyard. Of course, unless you want to do that. This is going to be best for parents who want an engaging, supportive Christian curriculum with a strong online component. The price for Kingdom Thinkers Academy is $1,400 per child, or $2,000 if you want to go with a customized, personalized plan. So yeah, it's kind of like the private school of the homeschool world. Fancy, but can be expensive. Okay, before we continue, I'm just going to finish off this kale because it's really yummy. Did you know that in America, about 90% of homeschoolers are Christian, whereas only 10% of homeschoolers are secular? In Australia, however, it's a little bit different. It's about 50% who are Christians and 50% who are secular. So what about a secular curriculum for this homeschool roundup, right? Simply Homeschool is super hands-on, flexible, and great for teaching multiple ages. Think of unit studies, family projects, and even homeschool camps. But there is some prep work. So if the idea of cutting, pasting, and Pinterest-worthy projects makes you twitch, then let's keep looking. But before we do, Simply Homeschool is going to be best for your parents who love eclectic, hands-on, flexible learning. It will cost $364 per year for the basic plan, or $600 for the premium, or a family plan is $753. And yes, they help with homeschool registration too. Yuka is an online self-paced homeschool program that even helps your kids get into university. It's super organized, aligns with the Aussie curriculum, and helps with registration. So if you're more of a set it and forget it sort of person, then this might be your golden ticket. This is going to be better for busy parents who want a more online structured homeschool solution. It will cost $565 for grade 1 and $674 for grade 10. Not too bad considering you don't have to scrub off paint from your dining room table daily. And for high school parents who wonder what is next, well, this one does offer a pathway to university. But guess what? Another fun fact. A ton of Aussies actually use American homeschool curriculum because they're that good. Indeed, they've been making homeschool curriculum for decades longer than really we've been doing it here in Australia. So they've gotten really good at it. And guess what? You can actually buy American curriculum here in Australia without having to sell your kidney to cover the shipping expenses. Let me give you a quick rundown of the top American homeschool curriculum that are available right here in Australia. First of all, there is Master Books. This one is ridiculously popular in the States. This is about $350 to $500 per child. It's open and go, Charlotte Mason inspired, and super affordable. Then there is Memoria Press. This one's about $1,450 to $2,000 per child. Although, if you get their curriculum, you can also buy a consumables pack, which is a whole lot cheaper for your subsequent children. So it does get cheaper if you have more children using the program. This is classical, rigorous, and full of great literature. I've got their Greek program, which I'm using as an adult myself at the moment because I'm just a bit of a weird nerd. And it's quite good. I quite like this one. Then there is also Logos Press. This is another classical program. You can get away with this one for a little bit cheaper. It's $1,000 to $1,200. This one is Reformed Christian, catechism based, and there's loads of deep theological learning. The next one is Mystery of History. I remember my pastor's wife, who was a homeschool mom, her kids have graduated now. She said Mystery of History is great. She loves it. By the way, where are you going to get these ones? So you're going to get them all from the Reformers Bookshop, who have loads of homeschool curriculum. I will leave the link down below for the homeschool curriculum from Reformers, so you can go have a look at it. I really like these guys. I buy heaps from the Reformers Bookshop too. So Mystery of History. Okay, so this is a really great homeschool curriculum for history, only really history though, and there's no debate about that. It's just fantastic, but it's not going to cover your Australian curriculum, your Australian history. Finally, there is Generations. I have some of these at home. This is a relatively new homeschool curriculum, and Generations is actually made by a second generation pastor, and he homeschools his own children. This thing has been selling like wildfire in the US. It's quite an affordable solution, and you can get it here for free shipping. I'll link it down below as well. Keep in mind that Reformers offers free shipping for over $99. And so like I said, you could get Generations and ship it directly from the US out to Australia, and that's going to cost you around, you know, your $400 to your $600, but then you'd have to pay $200 of shipping. You can get it here from Australia without that $200 of shipping on top, just by getting it from Reformers. And we homeschool moms love free shipping, almost as much as a cup of coffee. So I like all of these options that we've talked about today a lot, but I actually don't use any of them. I like using BJU Press. I tell my 7-year-old, off you go, and he just starts to homeschool himself. It's amazing. Yes, I do have to supplement math and history because it's all American, but I don't mind. But my husband's like, yeah, it's pretty annoying. So you really have to decide how you feel about that when using American curriculum. What I like about BJU Press personally though is it is very gospel-centered. And you may not know that there are actually plenty of gospel-centered homeschool curriculums out there. Do you want more options that are solidly gospel-centered? Well, I have made a video on all of the great Christian homeschool curriculum right here, so click it before you make your choice.